Computer. Hello everybody, I'm Debra Sofia Magdalene, back with another Mastery Path Connections interview. This is in a series of interviews with lady entrepreneurs who are travelling the world and creating an income. And today I am delighted to welcome Jennifer Trask.
Well done.
I said it right. Jennifer, welcome. If you could introduce yourself and let the ladies who are watching know how old you are, where in the world you are, and what is it that you do to create an income?
Yeah, so I'm 36 and I'm currently in Newfoundland, Canada, which is like home base. And my business, I am a mindset coach and business advisor for coaches and healers. So that's how I create an income to be able to trot around the world with my laptop.
So how long have you had this lifestyle?
This business for me really took off in 2013, like late 2012, 2013. And I went on my first big trip in 2014. I went to South America for 6 months. So I guess that's 3 years now.
Okay, so did you have a plan?
No. No, the only plan I had, I knew I was flying in and out of Lima and had date because I'd returned dates, but I let things unfold, which is what I tend to do when I travel, and just allow it to go wherever I'm meant to go. So I don't really plan very far ahead. No.
I can identify with that. I did the same thing in 2013, bought a one-way ticket to Peru.
Oh, well, there you go. We must have missed each other.
So, what was it that initially drew you to Peru?
Peru had always been on my list, for like most people, for Machu Picchu. And I just thought it would be magical. And I had this sort of love affair with South America. I just felt called to go there. I had bought my ticket in and out of Lima, but I ended up in Ecuador for 3 months first before I went to Peru for 3 months. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt called there. I felt it was time to start seeing South America, and the culture was very inviting. And I just wanted to go into the mountains and check it out, really.
It's a wonderful place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. If you haven't been there yet, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be leading retreats. I went to the Peruvian Amazon rainforest, working with the sacred plant medicines and living with the Shipibo tribe, and it was completely life-changing.
Oh, absolutely. I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were in Peru, what did you do business-wise? How did you get started on an online business?
Well, my business was running and profitable, and that's why I was able to go. I didn't go and try to make it work. It was working and I went, which is actually what I recommend to people. I mean, unless you have a big bank account of money just sitting there, I recommend you have your income sorted, at least part of it, before you go, because otherwise it causes a lot of stress, and it derails your trip a little bit if you don't have the finances in place, or at least some idea of it. So yeah, I already had that sorted.
So how long did it take you to get that aspect of it sorted before you went traveling?
Well, I had always wanted, like, being a digital nomad was my dream for years. It took years. I had a couple of businesses before this business, so it took me 4 years to find my niche and my space and where I was really good. And then when that happened, I think 9 months later, I was on a plane.
Cool. So you were
Yeah.
sorted. And it's interesting that you're saying that to get that sorted first, because I did it the complete opposite way around. I didn't have any money when I went. I borrowed £1,000, bought a one-way ticket, but I ended up being away for 11 months and doing sort of work exchanges whilst I was away. So there's different ways
Oh, okay.
of doing that as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess in terms of a digital nomad running a business online,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have money. So if your business isn't making you money and you're not sure, putting yourself in a new country and environment is not going to help your situation
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when you were traveling, what did you do about your living situation at home?
I used a combination of Airbnb and then sort of local things. So, for example, um, just through the internet, I have found different places to stay. Some of them on Airbnb, some of them not. Some of them just through talking to people, research, whatever. So yeah, that's exactly what I did today. Like I just spent the winter in California and I just used Airbnb solely.
Cool.
Yeah.
And did you still have like a base back in Canada?
No. When I went to California, before I went to California, I actually sold the apartment and everything in it. The only thing I ever have are my books and clothes, which are packed up in someone's house usually. I have a big family, so that's nice.
What would you say are some of the challenges that you've had having a digital nomad lifestyle?
You know, there are definitely challenges. It can get lonely. And if you're running a business, there's such a thing called shiny objects everywhere. So you need to be disciplined so that you can enjoy where you are, but not let your work and business suffer. And that can be challenging when everything is new and exciting and you just want to go here, there, and everywhere. So that is a little challenging. But yeah, I think I found I'm a very much a people person and I adapt well to new environments. So I didn't find that part difficult. I think it was more the loneliness because you have, you don't have any real developed friendships or people who know you. So I think the way to combat that actually is, you should look for other digital nomad groups in the area. A lot of places, especially more popular, like Cusco, Peru, where I spent a lot of time, they had certain organizations. I forget what it was called now, but there was one. They had an office where all the digital nomads could go. They had a thing, and then you might want to get into something local as well to try to make those connections because you can. Yeah, it can get lonely especially if you're moving a lot.
Yeah, well, that's a really good tip, actually. Check out any existing digital nomad groups.
Yeah, it's become so popular. There are groups now. There's this one company I know that's 75 digital nomads a year. They go on the same year trip, meaning it's organized. They pay a certain amount of money, and that covers flight and accommodation for the year, and they have it mapped out as to where they're going. And there's definitely a lot more groups now of digital nomads, and you could probably find them on meetup.com and different places like that. I think if you just even Google digital nomad group, the place you're in, you'd probably find things, which is great.
Cool. What would you say is like a highlight of you changing your lifestyle?
Well, I think I always have felt that traveling, I think traveling makes you a better person. And traveling, not just there's nothing wrong with a holiday on a beach, but really traveling and meeting local people and going to markets and dealing with, like, really immersing yourself in the culture, not just the tourist highlights. I think it enables you to become more open-minded, more compassionate, more interesting as well. And I think you get life experience you just can't get without traveling. And I've always believed that. And I think too, it's really interesting because there's different people and different things and different food and different music and different culture and different sayings. And what I also have found very interesting, I've been to 27 countries at this point in time. And even though the world is unique and there are so many different places, one thing you do learn from extensive travel is that people really are just people no matter where you go. And we all really want the same things, basically. And that to me is an important lesson, because if you only stay home and you watch the news a lot, you have a perception of the world that isn't reality. The reality is the world is a pretty safe place. Most people are really good and will help you in a pinch. And I think when you can travel and you see that for your own eyes in so many different places, then it just gives you sort of a different perspective on the world you wouldn't otherwise have. And it also makes you grateful for what you do have. And I don't know, there's so much good stuff that comes from traveling.
I completely get that. And that's
right?
the countries you've traveled to. How do you decide where you're going to go next?
I usually go wherever I feel called. So South America was definitely more of a personal thing, that I think it was a little bit more spiritual, more just wanting to discover that part of the world. When I recently just went to California, that was a business decision, because my industry is so big in California, and my next move is another business decision. So it's kind of cool that you can actually marry them, whether you want to go because you personally want to go there, or it's a business decision or family decision or what have you. So yeah, I honestly just go wherever I'm interested in for some specific reason. I don't pick it other. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But what would you say the key thing is that you've learned about yourself as a result of your new lifestyle?
That's a good question. I definitely have learned I'm adaptable and I'm open-minded, but I also have learned the things that I like that give me a certain level of certainty. Certainty is a human need. And when you're traveling, especially in different countries, especially countries that you don't know the main mother tongue, there's a lot of uncertainty. And so, I think you're able to really learn a good bit about yourself and what you're capable of, and what are the things that really do matter to you that are important that you have in your life, sort of to keep you grounded in yourself. And then also, what are the things you're kind of willing to let go of that maybe at home you thought was important, and you're traveling and you're like, really, that's not important. And sometimes it's just the break from it you need to get the clarity to say, oh yeah, I didn't need that thing or that relationship or whatever.
Yeah, so it puts things in perspective.
Yeah, perspective.
Right. What are Jennifer's top tips to anybody who's thinking of having this lifestyle?
One is go somewhere you're really interested in. I know that sounds a little bit like, of course, why wouldn't I go? But because, it's wonderful. But when so many things are new, you probably will miss home a bit or whatever. And so at least if you're somewhere that's really of interest to you and you're so excited about, you'll really enjoy all of the newness that is around you. And with respect to those with businesses, don't leave without a safety net financially, unless you thrive on that type of uncertainty, which majority of people do not. And it doesn't mean it has to be huge, right? It just means something where, like, for example, if something happens and you need to fly home, you can book a flight home immediately, right? Or whatever. Definitely get travel insurance for sure. That's definitely a practical one. And the other thing for people who run businesses, you do have to do some research. I've wrote a couple blogs on this as well. But you do have to do research on, like, you can't get somewhere bad with bad Wi-Fi if you have a digital business. So like what I did is anytime I wanted to go somewhere remote, that would be during off time, like vacation time or a weekend when I wasn't working. One of the things, the caveats of being a digital nomad is you got to make sure, like my thing was safety, cleanliness, and Wi-Fi. Like those were my three things, right? So you do have to you have to be a little bit more of a planner, not a huge planner, but you do have to do some research. You can't just rock up in places when you have a business to run. There is a level of responsibility that comes with that. And, it's not the same as being a backpacker who's just freely going wherever they want to go. You have clients and customers and responsibilities. And so you have to find that balance of maintaining that while also enjoying being free and adventurous and whatever that means to you.
Yeah, thank you for those tips, Jennifer. If people want to get hold of you, how can they do that? If they want to find out more about your work?
Yeah, for sure. They can go to my website, Jennifer-Trask.com, or they can also find me on Facebook, which is the Facebook page is Jennifer Trask Fan, F-A-N. And I'm on Instagram too, but it's Jennifer L. Trask there, I think. But all that can be found from my website too. And there are a couple blogs on preparing for your digital nomad trip, like practical things, what do I wish I had known? And some of the stuff I did know, and this was a good thing to know and to prepare for and all that jazz. So if they want that, they can contact me and I'll connect them up.
That's fabulous. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the actual nuts and bolts of your business and how you find customers?
Absolutely. So I coach coaches, essentially, coaches, healers, and transformational experts. And I do a mix of online marketing and offline marketing because I'm very much a people person and I like in person. So, when I originally built my business, I tell people I originally built it on networking, Facebook marketing, blogging weekly, and email marketing. And they were the main things I did. Today, I do more than that. I have challenges. I do webinars. I use Facebook ads. I'm on Instagram. And, there's multiple. Plus, now I have a lot more referrals and things like of that nature. And my next move is Toronto, Canada. I'm a Canadian, so I want to stay in Canada for a little bit. And part of that is so that I can be with people where I live. Where home is a very small place. So not like over in the UK where you have access to so many people. I'm from an island with no more than 500,000 people. So that's another way that I will be adding that element of, workshops and speaking and things like that. So yeah, so that's how I market myself and get get clients and get business. And I have courses and things like that as well.
Wonderful. And it's a really good way of earning an income whilst you're away. And did you do some specific training before you went into this type of work?
Well, I had started in network marketing, which is why I learned online marketing. And then I became a social media consultant, which turned into marketing consulting, which turned into marketing coaching, which then turned into coaching coaches. And now today I focus mostly on mindset because that's the most important thing, and strategy. So it was an evolution, and that process was 4 years to get to here. And even when I started my business, I think I was more strategy and marketing focused, and now I'm more mindset focused, because I always tell my clients, I've never met a super confident coach who doesn't have the business they want. Yeah. It's not a marketing problem. It's usually a headspace problem. So, so that was the evolution. I never actually set out to do what I do today. When I started, I didn't even know there was like coach for coaches. I just knew I had criteria of what the outcome of what I was doing was, and it does meet all my criteria. And it was just this evolution of getting to here. And being digital was one of those 5 criterias.
Well, congratulations on what you've achieved.
Thank you.
Inspirational to hear about your journey. And I'd like to thank you for your time today, coming on and helping other ladies that are watching this to know that this is possible for them too.
It sure is. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer you can be, do, and have anything you want.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Debra.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.